I don't know if y'all saw it. Did y'all see it? There, in Bronx, was it Bronx? Either the Bronx or Brooklyn, New York, one of the two. It doesn't matter. Living in a housing project, you had this 46-year-old dude. He looked like he might have been Puerto Rican, but if you in them projects, you know different than you're subject. You're just like the community, so it doesn't really matter your race. It's just your environment. And the fact that you 46 years old still living in public housing means either you made the same decisions growing up as the people around you and that's why you're still there, or you made even worse decisions if you were in another class and wound up in section 8. So it is what it is. Well, anyway, this guy 46 years old, he gets unalived by a, now get this, there's a woman in his building. They weren't clear on this, whether he was trying to get bedroom fund from her or he was actually getting it. Well, anyway, this woman called her and said, I'm having problems with my, follow this, you got to follow this, with my daughter's boyfriend. Her daughter's boyfriend gave her a dog when they were together. And I'm assuming when they broke up, he wanted his dog back. She didn't want to give it back. So he went over there with 5 of his friends, and that's when they called this fool to come down and intervene. Now, if she's a project chick, she's probably dealing with a man that has the potential for violence or danger. And that's what you got to know out here. A couple things you got to know. A girl from a housing project, she doesn't know how to choose a man that's not dangerous. She doesn't know how. Every man around her is dangerous, and every man that doesn't want to be around danger is weak to her. Like if you don't go certain areas or want to be around certain people because you know what kind of behavior is going to entail if you hang around that crowd long enough, you're scared. You're a punk. You're a coward in their eyes. I mean, that's fine. They're blind anyway. But nonetheless, he decides to go down and, I guess he wanted to get them guys out of that woman's environment and let her keep her dog. They end up jumping him, end up stabbing him to death. His family referred to him as a hero. No, he's a fool. Listen, fellas, you do not owe anybody your life to protect them, unless it's your mother or if you got a sister. But, other than that, man, I'm not out here defending anybody. But listen, you got to ask yourself, whenever there's a confrontation that you're going to get into for someone else, you got to ask yourself, is this person worth fighting for, killing for, or dying for? That's pretty serious, man. So if I'm not putting you in, or I would do any one of those 3 things or all 3 of those things for you, I'm not defending you. And I don't want, okay, I don't know everybody's lifestyle on this channel, but if you're like me, you're work out, eat, sleep, wash, rinse, repeat. And fellas, lo and behold, the truth is, a woman really believes that your life is, that you're disposable to her. And when you're like nondescript and you just basically go to work and come home, don't bother anybody, don't look to bother anybody, but above all else, and as a result of that, people don't bother you. I don't think that they really notice you to bother you. So I don't want you to feel as though you got to be a hero out here. Like, I'm living this mundane life. I need some excitement. Now's my chance to be a hero for a woman that ain't going to remember you no matter what happens. Like, and another thing, a guy is not going to want to take an L in front of a woman. He's not going to want to be put in his place in front of a girl. So he's more likely to show out because, you come in here trying to chastise me or belittle me in front of this woman. That's where it starts anyway. And I think a lot of guys want to impress women, and that's why they find themselves in these situations. And you can, very well easily be unalived. You got to know that, there's a lot of mental health issues with people nowadays. So it doesn't, like, I've said before, watch your road rage. Whenever, if I pull out in front of somebody and they beep their horn like they're upset with me, eventually when they pass me, I turn and wave to them. And you can see their demeanor. They go from being angry, angry, angry to like, oh, okay, all right, I'm calm now. It's cool. All they're looking for, in most cases, is for you to take accountability and admit fault and be glad it didn't result in a collision. But you are not supposed to go out here and defend a woman that isn't the woman that birthed you, or a woman who is related to you by the woman who birthed you, if that makes sense. But you don't, because now the woman that had this man killed as a result of his stupidity going to defend this child that's not even his. And that's another thing. You got to watch out who these women. Listen, that's why I say no to single moms, okay? Because if this woman didn't have no child, she wouldn't have no child that had a issue that this man had to come to. You know what I'm saying? So, but I get it. They all got kids. A lot of them do. But you don't take them serious, man. Listen, what they're going to do is they're going to do things like this. They're going to say, you're going to be out with the single mom, and the child's going to call on the phone, and you're going to hear, this is what you're going to hear. I don't have any money. I don't have any money. If you want to go to the mall, you're going to have to, I don't know, you're not going to have any money because I don't have any money to give you. And when you hear that, don't say another word until the girl starts a conversation with you. And it better not be about, do you have some money for my child to go to the mall? No. That very same scenario happened to me. And when I heard that, I actually, you know how when you were little, when you would pretend like you didn't have no teeth in your mouth, where you draw your mouth, you pierce your lips shut by covering your teeth with your lips. You know what I'm talking about. I did that. And again, don't say another word until she starts to say something, because it should be something totally not related to that phone call. If it is, you'll know that that's what she was doing. But that's part of the manipulation that women do. Women never had the ability to walk up to a man and say, "Give me that." They don't. So they have to create a scenario. Usually it's through sympathy to get you to volunteer to do what they want, ultimately what they want done. But they're able to use plausible deniability by saying, I didn't ask him to do that. He offered to do it. So when you don't offer to do it, it gets done by some other simp. Just don't let yourself be that simp, y'all. For real. It's going to go into 2025. Worry about yourself, man.